Hi there, I'm Lauren Smith, and this is Conscious Culinary, where we show you how to cook with natural partners, manufacturer partners products. Today we're featuring one of our exclusive manufacturer partners, Thorne. They have a wonderful line of products, and today we're going to be featuring their VegaLite. It's an awesome protein powder. It's soy-free, it's gluten-free, no artificial sweeteners. There's only 1 gram of sugar in it and 23 grams of protein per scoop. But the great part is it's all vegetarian protein derived from pea and rice. So it's just like a beautiful powder. It tastes great. We have the chocolate flavor. So with that, we're going to do something a little bit different to make a tasty treat. We're going to make a nice fudge with beautiful organic ingredients. It's a simple recipe and it tastes amazing. So I hope you guys watch this one. So I have a little double boiler setup going on here. I have a little pot of water on a medium heat with a glass bowl of my 6 ounces of dark chocolate. Now you want to pick something that's over 70% cacao. That means there's less sugar, it's dark, more antioxidants, rich, more intense flavor. So as it melts, it's just going to get glossy and shiny. And just use a little spatula to keep folding the hot chocolate over itself. And slowly, the little lumps of chocolate will start dissolving, or melting rather. So once that chocolate starts melting down, we're essentially going to make a ganache out of it. And in classic chocolate, they usually add cream, sometimes butter, to make chocolate glossy. Ganache is one of those amazing, beautiful things that you could take a bath in. It's so good. So with our pure melted chocolate, instead of cream, heavy cream, we're going to add a beautiful organic coconut milk. Now what you want to make sure is that you buy the canned kind, because on top is the luscious cream. Okay, so it's thick, and that's essentially the pulp that's concentrated on the top of the can, and on the bottom you're going to find more liquid. You can use that just as well, but this cream is like a magnificent thing. So this is about 1/2 cup. We may go a little bit less than that. What I'm going to do is just add that into my ganache and fold it right on in. So once that coconut milk is nice and incorporated, we're going to add in a couple tablespoons worth of a coconut butter. These are really convenient, nice little packets I got from my natural grocer. And on top of that, there's some raw cacao in it, so it's even more chocolatey. But of course, you can use a regular coconut butter. And if you didn't want to go vegan, you could use regular butter. Just use a nice quality organic one so you don't get all the chemicals and fun things like that. So each packet's about 1 tablespoon. And this is what's going to help our fudge set up. There's 1. There's 2. So we're going to melt this right on in as well into that hot chocolate mixture. We want it nice and evenly incorporated and velvety smooth so there's no lumps. You'll see it starts to get this glossy sheen from it because that's that oil coming out from the coconut. So in a traditional fudge, there'd be actually a lot of butter. And this is kind of what's taking the place of that. So depending on how sweet you like it, you're going to go with about 1/4 cup to 3/4 cups xylitol crystals. We're going to melt those right in, just like I have here. And if you don't want to use xylitol, you can use stevia, and you can use agave nectar, you could use honey. You just have to know the sweetener that works best for you. But I'd say stay under 3/4 cups for any kind of sugar. And if you're going to go liquid like an agave or a honey, do about 1/4 cup. So I'm going to start off with about 1/4 cup's worth of that xylitol. let that melt right in. And xylitol melts pretty easily. That's why I chose it for this, because we don't want the consistency of our fudge to be grainy. Now I'm just going to put my heat onto like a medium, but we want to be careful to not scorch the chocolate. And what that means is it'll start seizing up and crusting to the bowl. We want to keep everything moving around so it stays nice and silky. So you'll see that xylitol starts melting right away. It would take twice as long if you use like an organic sugar. Okay, that's just about melted in. And now we're going to go with a 1/4 cup of roasted salted almonds. When they're roasted, they get this beautiful nutty, oily flavor. It's so much better than a raw almond. So when you bite into it with chocolate, it's just amazing. And I picked salted because you really do need salt to bring out the flavor in anything, even if it's a dessert, right? So just put your almonds right on in. We'll just fold those guys in with our spatula. Now the xylitol is nice and melted. The almonds are getting nice and incorporated. So I'm going to turn the heat off, but still keep it over the warm water. And we're going to add our VegaLite. So I want to give it at least 2 heaping scoops. Now you can use more, you can use less. So there's 1, and there's 2. It smells like hot chocolate. And I'm just going to ever so carefully fold the powder right on into the chocolate mix. Be a little bit careful at first. And you'll find if you get too thick or if it starts seizing up, you can turn the heat on a little bit so it melts. Or you can add another little dollop of coconut milk to add a little bit more moisture. But kind of think of it like making a cake batter. You know, when you add the flour, everything seems a little bit too stiff, and then you get it mixed and it's just fine. Just be careful with your heat with this product because, you know, if you apply too much heat to any of these products, it kind of starts to ruin the integrity of the nutrients and all the good stuff in them. So you can see we're starting to get that chocolatey sheen once the protein powder incorporates into the chocolate. Oh my gosh, this smells amazing. We just want to get it as well mixed as we can. This will take you a couple minutes just to slowly incorporate everything as the melted chocolate kind of wraps over itself with the powder. Make sure I haven't missed any spots in the bowl. Make sure there aren't big chunks of chocolate on the bottom. Make sure there's no big chunks of the powder. Like right here, found one. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Okay. So everything's nice and incorporated. Just gonna grab myself a spoon. And I'm going to put my fudge into little molds. I've got this great silicone mold. You can bake with this, you can do whatever you want with it. But I think it's going to be fun to have little fudge kind of bombs. They'll come out in nice little dome shapes. Now, of course, you could use a brownie pan, line it with some parchment paper or plastic wrap, smear the fudge on into that nice even layer. We're going to give it about at least 2 hours in the fridge to set. And when it's set, they're going to pop right out and we'll have these beautiful little fudge domes. But if you're using a brownie tin, you just cut it with a hot knife. Any little shape that you want. You can use cookie cutters, you can use tiny little bites, whatever you want. But it's really easy. So just a couple hours in the fridge. I'll put this in right now. And in a little bit, we'll have some beautiful fudge. Okay, so we've let our fudge sit in the fridge for a couple hours, and they're nice and solid and set. And the beauty of these silicone molds is that you can just pop them right on out. So look at those beautiful domes of fudge. I mean, come on. You can see the kind of translucent melted coconut in there, pieces of almonds. They're just super. Pop this last one out. Okay, so just, line them up however you want. If you're gonna serve these for dessert, or just keep them in a Tupperware in an airtight container. You can wrap these up individually, give them away as treats, keep them around for when you want a nice little protein snack. But I'll show you guys. You can just slice right on into that like butter. I mean, look at that. That is a classic, beautiful piece of fudge. Oh yeah. So if you're hankering for chocolate, this is your recipe, okay? Because on top of it, you're gonna get Thorne VegaLite's wonderful properties. At 23 grams of protein, hardly no added sugar, there's just 1 gram, and it's completely vegetarian. So you're getting pea and rice protein, no gluten, no soy, none of that kind of stuff. It's just like a beautiful thing. So it's a simple recipe, and this is honestly one of my favorites yet. It is just scrumptious and indulgent, and I don't feel bad about it. So thanks again for watching this episode, and we'll see you next time.